So how do you talk on video to your customers about your product so they actually care about what you're talking about? Because most of the time what we're talking about is all the stuff they get and they don't care about that. So what are the 7 different ways that you can talk about your product? You've probably heard where you don't talk about the plane ride, you talk about the destination. That's what we're talking about here. So they're at point A, they want to get to point B, the core outcome. Okay, your product is designed to get them there. Okay, your product is what gets them over to this thing, and that's where it gets confusing. We think, well, we need to talk about our product because our product's what actually solves their problem. But the problem is they don't want to have to do anything to get to the core outcome. They just want to go and get it. So how do we actually talk about this thing, right? How do we talk about the core outcome so that they actually do care? And so they want to actually do it. Well, the first thing that we do is we talk about the transformation, okay? So transformation. Just imagine what it would be like waking up in the morning and there you are, getting on your computer, looking at your Stripe account, and voila, you've made $2,000 that day. The next day, you make another $2,000. But it's not just the money, you actually became a better person. You're better at teaching, you're better at coaching, you're better at helping, and people actually are living better lives because of you. And you go from this transformation of, I didn't know how to do this thing, to now I know exactly how to do it. You went from your desired or your current situation where you were kind of down on yourself, you didn't know how to do the whole coaching thing, to now you know how to do it. Okay? That's because we've created a product for you that can do that for you. So you can come in with the product thing afterwards, but drop one of these 7 things or all of them as you're doing it. You're basically just showing a clear change from where they were to where they want to be. That's how you talk about the product. And when you're talking about it, you're like, well, yeah, but I'm not actually talking about the steps or the process or the hours of stuff they get from me. That's right, because they don't care. You know, when you want to get a 6-pack of abs, you don't want to hear about all the sweat and sit-ups and early mornings and late nights and food restrictions, do you? No, you just want the abs. You know, on the front cover of the ab machine, they would show some guy and gal there and they just got this like ripped midsection, right? I had to stop doing that because I was getting such a fan club. But they don't ever show them sweating and, snarling, do they? No. They don't put the workout on the box, do they? No, they just show the machine and then they show the core outcome. That's why we buy it. Okay? So when you're talking about your product on social media, when you're talking about what you do, you want to make sure that you're talking about the transformation. The next thing is the benefits. So a lot of times what we do is we talk about the features. Okay, you get the steps and the process and the downloads and the PDFs and this and that and this and that. But what's the benefit of those things? Okay? Emphasize the emotional and tangible benefits that they get. All right? Think about it. Listen, I know sometimes when you're trying to figure this stuff out, you don't know, what to do, and it's like you look in the course and you don't know how to figure it out from there sometimes, and you just need to talk to somebody. And that's why we have weekly Q&A calls, because then you can actually get in there and you can ask people questions. You can find out and talk about your specific situation and get that fixed. Okay, so that's the benefit of the calls. I could just say, oh, you get 2 bi-weekly Q&A calls. Or I can say what I just said. You see the difference? So it's not hard either. Most of the time, the best thing you can do is just list out all the features and be like, okay, because of the different steps, what's the outcome? What's the emotional, tangible benefit? Because of step 3, what we do in there, what is the actual benefit? And then just get rid of the features and just talk about those things. So it might help to just list out all of the features and then what are the benefits of these features and then just erase all the features and just talk about the benefits in your content. When you're doing any kind of content, email, video, text, pictures, whatever you're doing, just talk about this, because that's all they care about. They do not care about this stuff. So just remove it. Okay? Destination, airplane. We don't want to think about the airplane. We don't want to talk about that, okay? You can list it on the page, they can read about it, they can see it. But when you're trying to sell them on, getting the product and buying things, you don't talk about that, eh? Okay. The next one is emotional triggers, okay? Emotional triggers. The emotional triggers are things that you can say that will get them in that state, right? It basically evokes these feelings of success and fulfillment. What would it be like if you could, be traveling over to, some place you wanted to be, and when you get there, the first thing you see when you turn your phone back on, because it's on airplane mode, is that you got another sale while you were doing something fun, going to a destination that you love, right? Or what would it be like when you're in the store and you're looking at maybe getting something for your child or a friend or something like that, and right when you're doing that, you feel this bzzz in your pocket, and you look, and you just made another $2,000 sale. How would that make you feel? Well, that's exactly what we do inside of da-da-da-da-da, okay? Or imagine going to the store and you see an outfit that you really love, and you go over to it and you put it on, and it makes like the perfect fit because you're not fat anymore. Think about, or you go to the party and everybody's like, whoa, man, you look great. I haven't seen you in years. You're like, how would that feel? So those are things that you can talk about in your content. And matter of fact, what you should do for the next 30 days, just to prove me wrong, is just start talking about things like that. Start talking about the emotional outcome. What would it be like if you woke up and you weren't scared to death of the day and the anxiety wasn't there? Wouldn't that be amazing? Like you could walk out and you kind of like, feel like a fresh new day, and not like you're being targeted or something like that. Okay? What are those emotional triggers that you can say that will get them going? And this is where a lot of times you can use ChatGPT, okay? You can ask it, can you give me an example of a clear transformation my product makes? Okay? Here's the problem, here's the solution. Okay? What is a transformation? Any of these 7 things you can do that with. What would be the benefits of my product? If I offer this, and this, give me a list of benefits and how to talk about them. Or emotional triggers. Okay? Based off what you know about my customer who has this problem, looking for this core outcome or solution, and here's my product and the stuff that I do and what we do and da-da-da-da-da, what would be some things that would be emotional triggers that I could say in my content that would get them excited? Right? Okay. Next one is vision. Okay? You're painting a picture here. You're painting a picture of the future. Imagine all you needed was a laptop and your phone, and you could make $1 million a year. You could travel around the world, and you're not making this money because you're just doing something slimy. You're changing people's lives. You're literally making them more fit and living longer and healthy, or you're helping them emotionally get confidence and get rid of anxiety and stand strong in their own skin. Or you're helping them make money so they can finally buy their son or daughter what they want for Christmas. Imagine what that would be like. All because you created a program that showed somebody how to get from point A to point B. And then you took the time each day to share on social media why that actually matters and how you can help people. Okay? So how can you paint the picture? How can you paint the picture here? Help them see their future success. Talk about that. Then they don't even care about this. They're like, whatever it is, bring it to me, I'll do it. They'll go through whatever it takes. You know how they go to the gym? They'll go to the gym and sweat and get up early and eat weird food and stuff like that, right? Okay. The next one is pain points and desires. Okay? Here you can relate basically to their struggles and their dreams. Okay? It's hard doing social media, isn't it? You gotta put that camera in front of you, and then you're looking at the camera and you're going, nobody cares what I'm talking about. And you start crapping yourself out, and you're not talking to yourself very good. You're kind of talking crap on yourself. And you kind of lose confidence, and it's like, I don't know if I'm going to do this video. But what if there was a way that you could just create videos effortlessly? Like it didn't even bother you at all because you were so dialed in. You had a structure to follow. It was basically like steps, putting Legos together. And it was so easy that all you had to do was, put this little Lego, structure together, and then just simply think about it in a few minutes, and then poof, you could do some videos, and those videos would help you get more sales. Imagine what it would be like just being so comfortable in front of a camera that you could talk to it no problem. You could just flip it on at any time and just start talking to it. Well, that's why in module whatever, we have an exact Lego breakdown of how to create a perfect video. I should probably do that. But you see what I mean? You can talk to relate to their struggles. Yeah, I get it, man. I was the same way. Phil felt found. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. But you know what I found out? Okay. When you talk about their dreams, talk about being able to have that office they want, or have that, body they want, or be able to stand in front of anybody and be confident. Talk about those things. Okay. Again, pain points and desires, ChatGPT can help you with this. Okay. Another one is clear call to action. People get really vague on this sometimes. They just assume the customer knows what to do. And this is not what you want to do. Okay? You do not want to assume they know what to do. You want to tell them, all right, so now that you're ready to get started, all you need to do is just click this button right here, and here's what happens. After you click the button, a little box is going to pop up. You're just going to put your name and your email in there, and on the very next page, a video will be there. And in that video, I'm going to take you through exactly what you need to do to get from point A to point B, and I'm going to make it very effortless for you. Okay, so why don't you go down, click it right now, and I'll see you over on the next page. Or any version of that. Make sure it's very clear. And then when they get to the next page, okay, all the clear call to actions, people always think that call to actions are just at the end of the video or end of the thing. You do in call to actions all throughout. Hey, grab a pen real quick and write this down. Call to action. It's how you get influence too. It's how you get people to do things. Okay? So here, just look right here. Okay, see where this is? That's a clear call to action. I was with a buddy of mine. He was trying to figure out how to get girls, and he bought this book about how to influence women. And in the book, I was just saying, he was taking a shower, and I was like sitting out in his living room, and I was just flipping through this book. I was kind of making fun of him about it, guy stuff. And I just flipped it open. I was like, what the hell's in this book anyway? Go to a page, and it was so funny. And I didn't even know that I was going to remember this or use this or even talk about it today. But it talked about how you would have influence with a woman, okay? And how you know that she's either ready to be kissed, or if she was, you basically had influence over her. And if you could talk to her and then ask her to come over to a table, or ask her to do this, or ask her to hand you something or do something, it showed that you had a bit of influence over her. Like she was kind of connected with you and willing to listen and stuff like that. And, it showed different things, like where if you took action, like maybe you went to touch her hair or something, if she pulled back, she doesn't want you to kiss her. But if she allowed that, then she would be ready for a kiss. Okay? So these things like this call to action thing, think about what can I do to help them get into influence with me. So we're in this connection where you kind of have, their attention and control. For instance, look right here, okay? Kids do this all the time. Hey, look over here. No, look. Hey, no, look at this. Look at it. It happens all the time. You're like, oh, I see it. I mean, so when you're doing your thing, just be really clear. When they get to the next page, like they opt in for whatever it is that you're giving them, what I'll do is I'll say, all right, I'm really glad you're here. Now, hold on a second. Before we get into this, there's something really important that I'd like you to do. Okay? And you use power words like really important, right? Or hey, before we get started, we're used to these things, right? And I'll tell them, now I just sent you a bonus training, and I also sent you a download. It's a PDF that goes with the bonus training. It's extremely important. You need to go grab that right now. Go into it probably went to one of your other, I've never emailed you before, probably, most likely, okay? So it probably went to your spam or junk or promotions or something like that, but I need you to go grab that. Stop right now, go into your email, make sure you find that email, either drag it into your inbox, open it and click on it and make sure that you got it. I just got to make sure that you have that, okay? I'll pause for just a second and let you do that. Okay. Now let's jump into the content. And you want them to do that, for one, I'll just tell you real quick, you want them to do that because if they go find that email, click it, open it, and click on the thing inside of it, it tells their email inbox. The next time this person sends them an email, send it to the inbox. Or I just tell them, drag it over into your inbox because tomorrow, not only did I give you a bonus today, but tomorrow I have another bonus for you. What I'm sending you tomorrow, okay? Now, you don't want to do this to be stupid or, use it in the wrong way. Make sure it's always valuable and useful. But the point I'm getting at is you have to direct people. Most people are followers. Okay? How many leaders do you know? Okay? You're leading them to the promised land. So do that. Act like a leader and lead them. Leaders lead. Okay? So this is a very powerful one when you're talking about your product and you're doing things. You will be able to do this as long as you take action on these things. That's what a leader would say. Okay? Clear call to action. Okay, this last one here is probably one of the most powerful ones, and I use it on you all the time. Okay, I don't do it intentionally. It's just something I was. I don't know. I think I just got in trouble a lot when I was a little kid, and I always had to finagle my way out of things. I never got in trouble for anything serious. It was just always, usually, being the class clown or, just causing a ruckus. This one is very powerful. Visuals, metaphors, stories. I put all these together because these things, visuals, really help a lot. Instead of me talking about everything, I can just do a visual and then it also tells a story and it's also like a metaphor. A metaphor, when you do a metaphor, you're just getting your customer from point A to point B, it's kind of like that word right there, it's kind of like, or it's like. It's like they come into your store and then your whole funnel process, that's like them walking through the store, only you're guiding them. Does that make sense? Okay? So anytime that I try to explain something, one of the things that I do to grab your attention and get, influence back is, does that make sense? Do you get what I'm saying? Questions are the answer, okay? Questions are the answer. Matter of fact, grab a pen and write that one down for real. Questions are the answer. You need to basically make it memorable, and this makes it engaging, okay? There's not a lot of stuff happening, but these things do stuff to you. Like it like the little arrows and stuff, it engages your eyes, it does things, okay? When you're doing a presentation or something, you just can put this stuff somewhere. That's why I put it on here. I know you're already in the program most likely, okay? So, and I honestly, when I shot this video, I thought, well, maybe part of it could be used for social media content. So I was like, well, it'd be good to just have that in there. All right. So visuals. How can you use shapes and objects and colors and things to make your point? Our brain thinks in terms of images, so it's going to understand. That's why memes, like a meme, M-E-M-E, that's like compressing knowledge down, and it makes life easy for you to like understand things really quick. A meme is like a whole, a picture's worth 1,000 words. A meme makes an entire point so quickly. That's why they're so popular. Somebody texts you something, you send back a meme, and it's like an entire emotional understanding of this entire thing without having to say a word, okay? So that's what you're trying to do with this. And then metaphors, all you have to do to start a metaphor, and you'll usually come up with something pretty good, is like, when you're sending an email, just imagine it's like, they're walking down the road, and it's like they just get this little gift. Like somebody just comes by and hands them a gift. It just helps you visualize and see what that can be and what it is. Right? And then stories. I had the biggest trouble telling stories. I don't know, and I tell stories all the time whenever I don't need to tell stories, but when I need to tell stories, I don't know how to tell stories. And I found a beautiful hack for this. I bought a course. It was like $1,000. And most of the course, I knew most of the stuff, but I heard this one thing, and I felt stupid when I heard it, but it made me happy, and I thought I should share it with you. So, matter of fact, I just did it right there. Here's how you tell a story. You just tell a story about something that actually happened. So when I was telling you the story about how I was figuring out how to tell stories, I was telling a story about what actually happened. I bought this course, and I knew most of the stuff in it, but this one thing popped up, and it was this. I felt kind of stupid, but then it was like amazing. Like I finally cracked the code on this. Just tell stories that actually happened. It's engaging when you tell a story. And when you're engaging and you're talking about pain points and desires, the benefits, emotional triggers, painting the picture, transformation, you just became a absolute verbal ninja at selling stuff. And if you talk about these 7 things continuously all throughout while you're describing the process, the steps, and the things that they get, you will absolutely gain massive influence, followers, and you will crush it. Matter of fact, let me know down below in the comments, or however you have to tell me, if this video helped you a lot with your messaging and how to actually talk about your product, your process, what you do, your marketing, your educating. Marketing is educating people. Okay, so if this helped you, please let me know down below. If you want more stuff like this, I'd like to know that as well, because I actually like helping you in this way. I think it's one of my better traits, abilities. Okay, so I also want you to notice something else. If you did like this video, you should like it. But if you did like this video, I want you to understand that there's no script here. I mean, I knew what I wanted to share with you because I made this little fill in the blank thing, and I had this visual here. But I didn't edit this video at all. There's no cuts, there's no music, there's no zing zang. All I have is my phone. I've got a microphone plugged into it so you can hear me decent. And I've got two of these little lights here. Let me use this one. Okay, it's just a light on a stick. Okay, simple light. All right, make sure that's not on the whiteboard. But that's it. Okay, heck, if you just have a room with some light, I know it's gonna probably look bad, but look, it's not too bad, is it? Yeah, there's some shadows up there now. That's why I do the light thing. But, okay, so don't overthink this messaging thing. Don't overthink this stuff. What I need you to do is practice communicating to your people. And the only way to get good at video is to do video. I told myself when I started this video, because it's like 8:35 in the morning, okay? I told myself, probably won't even post this one, because I wasn't ready. I just came down to my office and I was thinking about these 7 things, because I know people have trouble talking about their product. They always end up talking about the stuff, right? And the and then they wonder why it doesn't sell. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to shoot this video while I'm thinking about it. And that's kind of the trick. I knew I needed to open up with a hook, and I know I needed to address the initial problem and what we're going to do. But then after that, I just knew I was going to talk about what we wanted to talk about here. And I have some notes that I made laying on a little table right here in front of me, because that helps, But they're just kind of like talk points. It's not like, this big old long script. Think about just having like some bullet points, okay? I always think of like a concept or something that I want to talk about, and then I just put some bullet points down, and I just try to shoot it and talk about it. And sometimes I shoot it and talk about it, and I'm like, and I'll just shoot it again. But the key is to get in the habit of creating video. Okay, just get in the habit of talking to your customer, and then use these things to get them to actually smile and be happy and want your thing. Use clear call to actions. All right. So the next video that's going to be coming down the pipe here is I'm going to share with you a simple process for creating videos. Just there's 2 main things that you're going to do, and it's going to help you a ton. Okay. Let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know what your favorite one of these 7 are down below, and I hope you start using it immediately. Okay? All right, I'll see you in the next one.